Diaz has started all 49 games this year and all 173 in his career. Gives this pitch a ride to deep left field. Ellis at the track, he turns, and that ball is out of here. Eddie Diaz with a 2-out, 2-run blast, and Navy right back in it. 7-6 ball game on Diaz's 4th homer of the year.
Davis breaks for second. Wilson throws through, and the tag in time. Asa Wilson nabs Jacoby Davis for out number 2. They have not picked up a hit here this inning. Infield in, and it's drawn past the diving second baseman Murtha. Schreck comes in to score. Behind him, Berg, and it's a 2-run single for Chris Barr. 3-0 Black Knights. As Kirdo could tie this game up with one swing of the bat. In on the hand, strike 3. Power versus power. Gresham comes with the fastball. Spaventa coming in as a .330 hitter with 4 homers and 21 runs batted in. And he laces this into center field. Davis can't make the catch. He dives and it rolls all the way to the wall. This will clear the bases. It is a 3-run double for Nick Spaventa, and the Quakers have stormed all the way back. And Lehigh answering with 3 here in the top of the 8th. Butler hits a chopper to short, should be 2, flip to second. The throw to first is in time, and that is exactly what the Quakers needed.
There you see Ronabaum, the starter for Army West Point. He has been masterful. 8 strikeouts, currently has retired 14 in a row. His lone blemish, Maria, a 1-out double, second batter into this game.
He's just utilizing all of his pitches, that fastball that he can keep up in the zone, and then the slider, those other pitches on the outside part of the plate, just getting hitters to chase, mixing in speeds as well. So he's just doing a little bit of everything and keeping Navy off balance.
Season high in strikeouts for Ronabaum. Back on May the 4th against Lehigh, he struck out 9. We got word that he fell 1 out shy of throwing a no-hitter in that game. He is cruising along here, tossing right now 5 innings of 1 hit shutout ball against a Navy offense that has put up the hits throughout the postseason tournament. They were leading all 4 teams in team batting average coming into today's game. Trying to get this offense going. 8-9-1 due up with Anthony Fiallo, the left fielder, who's 0 for 1 with the strikeout.
And you know, it's interesting because I thought in that first inning that Navy had some really good at-bats. There was a double from Diaz, but then the other 3 outs they made were flyouts to center field. So they got some good pieces of it, but they just haven't been able to really square anything up since then.
He has not walked a batter here today. Falls behind 3-0. Gets the strike call there from the home plate umpire, J.R. Brown. 3-1. Chopped over the right side. Barr is there. 1 down. 15 in a row retired by Ronabaum. That is the pitching performance you want and a chance to move on to the NCAA tournament, and impressing some youngsters here today as well.
I like the little eyebrow raise. Oh, he was made for the camera. We should have him maybe do some post-game interviews for us.
There we go. Here is Robbo, the right fielder. He struck out swinging back in the 3rd. That was the end cap of a 5 consecutive batter where Ronabaum was able to strike out 5 in a row. Rabba, the speed demon, leads the team in stolen bases with 28. That was one of the biggest storylines coming into this, was when Navy gets on base, they wreak havoc. We have not talked about it yesterday or today. They have 86 stolen bases. That's inside the top 50 in all of Division I, but pitching and the defense has been very good for Army.
And I mean, even yesterday when Navy had some great offensive numbers, they had 14 hits. The biggest problem was that they were behind for the game for most of the game. So you can't steal bases when you're trailing by 3, 4, 5 runs because you can't make outs on the base pass when you're down by that much.
2-2. Breaking ball that never came back, and the count full. Second straight 3-ball count now issued by Ronnebaum. Quickly works and misses, and that is the first walk allowed by the Army starting pitcher. And just the first base runner allowed since the opening inning.
That's a big at-bat, though, there from Raba because he was so patient. Ronnebaum has been really dealing. He's been hitting his spots so well all day, but Raba just being patient, waiting for something that he knows he can drive. He doesn't get it, then he's safe at first base with a walk.
Go back to the top of the order with Hudson Leonards, the center fielder. He cranks this pitch down the left field line. That's going to bounce the wall. Heading to third base, Raba, he will get the stop sign. It's a double for Leonards. Just the second hit for Navy, and maybe this offense can get something going with one out.
You know, in his last two at-bats, Leonards made some really good contact. He flew out to center, and then he flew out to right. This one, he just stays on top of it a little bit more to hit that line drive down the left field line. He's in safely with the double. That's a great piece of hitting there by Leonards.
8th double of the season for the leadoff man, has now picked up a hit in 7 straight games. Eduardo Diaz, the shortstop, is the batter. We talked about him in the open. 2 home runs in yesterday's loss. He doubled his first time up into right center field. He is going to try and deliver here with a huge hit with runners in prime real estate.
I think this is a good conference here by Army, just deciding what you're going to do against a hitter that has been so red hot. The problem comes in is you don't really want to put Diaz on first because you have Murtha hitting behind him, who came into today hitting .351. So you don't want to bring the go-ahead run to the plate. So you have to pitch to Diaz, somebody who's been swinging a really good bat.
Chuck Ristano in his first year at the helm of Navy looking on. First pitch, a strike to the shortstop.
How about the fearlessness, though, from Ronnebaum just going right at Diaz, even with the way that he's been swinging so well?
The pitch. Blocked nicely by Berg. Diaz had the 2 homers, as we mentioned, but also 4 RBIs in the game. He drove in half of the runs for Navy. Those 4 ribbies matching a career high. Single here would get Navy on the board. Chops it sharply at third. Ruda has it off his glove, and they have the runner cut off between third and home in Raba. Berg applies the tag for out number 2. Going over to third, Leonards. And there's 2 down, and what could have been a huge break for Navy ends up becoming a big break for Army.
So here's the thing, though. Raba didn't run this incorrectly. He's coming home because it's second and third. You have the angle down or the automatics, whatever you want to call it, on. The base runner gets to third base, but Raba needs to stay in that run down a little bit longer to give Diaz an opportunity and have enough time to get to second, because then you have second and third, what you would have had if you would have just stopped and not ran at all.
And I think if you're Raba, too, as you mentioned to your point, also that ball, the way it nicked off the glove of Ruda, looked like it was going to go down the line a little bit more, further away from the third baseman. As Stephen Graver, the freshman slender right-hander, gets ready. He picked up the save in yesterday's 11-8 win. Brock Murtha, the second baseman, will be the batter. It will be runners at the corners, and nice little reset there for Army. The entire infield on the mound. You see Murtha asking where he needs to play here for this at-bat. Diaz reaches on the fielder's choice. He's over at first. Leonards over to third. This is the first true threat for Navy, but now needs a 2-out hit to capitalize. Murtha 0 for 2 today with a pair of flyouts, 1 to center and 1 to right. Ronnebaum had retired 15 in a row before the walk to the number 9 hitter Raba here this inning with 1 out. Trying to keep this a 3-0 game. This is poked down the right field line and heading towards the Navy bullpen.
And just like that, Ronnebaum's ahead in the count again. And if you're Murtha, you just need to find something that you can maybe hit up the middle. Just put some good, solid contact on it. You want to try to get at least one run back here. You can continue to chip away. It's only a 3-run deficit, but this at-bat becomes key.
The 1-2. Blocked by Berg. On deck is the cleanup man, Victor Izquierdo. This is the part of the lineup for Navy where you would like to capitalize. Berg so good defensively behind the plate, one of the top catchers in the country. Played first base yesterday. 2-2. Fouled off, out of play. Murtha trying to protect, maybe a little too aggressive. That looked a little above the letters, but again, with 2 strikes, the old adage, you got to protect the zone.
And I think also, too, with those marginal pitches, if you're fouling them off, you're also getting your timing down, and that helps a little bit more so that if you do get something that is in the strike zone, you can hit it.
He pokes it up the middle, softly hit to Schreck. He'll go the short way to Barr, and a fist pump closes out the top of the 6th inning. Ronnebaum works himself in and out of his first true jam, and we've played 5.5. Army still in control, up by 3. Navy had their best threat in the top of the 6th, but this play kind of extinguished it, Maria.
Ruda bobbles the ball a little bit, and Raba tries to go home, but he gets tagged out too quickly. With runners on second and third, you want to give the batter runner time to get to second base, and he just doesn't stay in it long enough, and that creates the second out of the inning.
Matthew Ronnebaum taking a breather. He has fired 6 scoreless innings for Army. A weird line score if you're just tuning in. Army with 3 runs on 1 hit. Navy no runs on 2 hits. Offense galore yesterday, pitching and defense today. This pitch ripped into right field, making the run and catch Raba, and William Parker is set aside for a quick out number 1.
You know, Corey, off the bat, that looked like it was directly in the gap, but Raba has so much speed over there in right field. He also takes a great angle, just dropping over his right shoulder and sprints to the spot, reaching up at the last second. I mean, if you're teaching somebody how to field a fly ball, that's textbook right there.
Here is Galinsky, the center fielder, 0 for 2 this afternoon. Swinging a hot bat as of late, hitting .344 over his last 9 games coming into this one. And this game is reminiscent of what fans saw here in the Star Series. As this is bunted sharply to third, running play in time. What a play by Logan Keller over at third. Galinsky in disbelief. He thought he legged it out for an infield single. 2 great plays by Navy's defense, and have another look.
How about the aggressiveness over there from Keller just to get behind that ball and throw on the run to get Galinsky by a split step at first.
You see the reaction from Galinsky. First base umpire Mike Williams right on it. Have one more look at it. As close to bang bang as you can get. Colson Titus, the DH, is the batter, takes the first pitch for a ball. Next one inside as well. Brady Bendick out for another inning of relief. Starting pitcher Matthew Shira was sensational for Navy through the first 2 innings before running into some command issues in the third. Giving up 3 earned runs on just 1 hit, but the story for Shira, 5 walks. He had 6 strikeouts. Retired the first 7 batters he faced, but this Army offense opportunistic here in game 2. This is served in a right field. Raba is underneath it, and that is a breezy 1-2-3 home half of the 6th inning for Bendick and the Mids. We've played 6 complete here in game 2. Army still in control, 3-0.